Welcome to our weekly Bhakti Vaibhav class. So in the last class, we were discussing from the prayers offered by Dhruva Maharaj. So being touched by Lord's counsel, Dhruva was endowed with all spiritual knowledge, the conclusions of all Vedic literatures. Then with that understanding, he begins to offer prayers, saying that till now I only had material senses, but now by your touch, by your entrance into my heart, you have made all my material senses into spiritual. You have actually awakened my sleeping spiritual senses. Till now they were all sleeping. They were only attracted to material activities. But now they began to perform spiritual activities, something like that, he states. So then by your entrance, I have gained the understanding of myself and the understanding of yourself. So that in that context, he talks about the different jnanis develop understanding of the Supreme Lord in his feature known as Brahman. And there are four category of devotees. Artho, Jignashur, Artharthi, Jnani. So out of which I am Artharthi. I am the person who is after wealth. With intention I came to you, but other three are better than me. So like that, he indicates in a couple of verses, Dhruva Maharaj. So after mentioning that, he says that, but still whatever it is, I don't want Swarga or Apavarga. The happiness of material enjoyment in the Swarga or happiness of Brahmananda. Instead, I want the association of your wonderful devotees. I just want the association of your wonderful devotees. With that, I can counter the influence of material existence. So like that, Dhruva Maharaj expresses his desire to the Supreme Lord. And then, so then he says that, how can you say that you only want me? What do you know about me? So then Dhruva Maharaj starts answering what he knows about the Supreme Lord. So then he's asking that, then previously, actually before that Lord says that previously you asked about the place which is superior to the the place of your great grandfather. So why are you asking now the association of Vaishnavas only? Then Dhruva says that previously I do not know what is what. I only know things of this material world, different people, different places in this material world only. But now by your touch, I understood there is much more than this material world. You, your abode, your associates, your devotees, etc. So with that understanding, with that revelation, I'm asking for the association of your devotees. Then Lord asks, what do you know about me? Then he speaks about, my dear Lord, you are non-different from that Karnadaksha Vishnu, from whom the universe are emanated. You are not different from Garbhodakasha Vishnu, from whose navel appeared lotus, on top of which Lord Brahma, who is our great grandfather, appeared. You are that Lord. You are so great. I cannot understand you. I can only offer obeisance unto you. And then, so what does he do? He is in Yoga Nidra. Whether it is Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Karnadaksha Vishnu, both are in Yoga Nidra. If he is also sleeping like any other ordinary Jiva, how is he different from ordinary Jiva? How can you say that he is great? You can't understand about him and you can only offer obeisance unto him. Then in the 15th verse, he said that he distinguished what are the different qualities of the Supreme Lord and what are the different qualities of the material living entity. How Jiva is dependent on the Supreme Lord for everything. How Jiva is bound by the material nature. How the Lord can award liberation to the Jiva. How the Lord is superior to the three modes of material nature. So all the different things he kind of established in this verse. Swam Nitya Mukta Parishuddha Vishuddha Atma Kutastha Adi Purusho Bhagavam Sradisha Yad Buddhi Avasthitam Akanditaya Swadhisha Drishta, Stitao, Adimako, Vyatirikta Aste. Both the Lord and Jiva are completely opposite. Apparently, they may appear to be same, but they are not same. Both possess opposite qualities. One is Bhatta, one is Mukta. One is master, one is dependent. So something like that. So like that, he established the difference between the Supreme Lord and the Jiva in this verse. And today we will discuss from verse number 16 onwards, wherein he talks about Brahman. He already talked about Bhagavan in his two features, as the Supreme Lord and also as the Paramatma, as Karmadaksha Vishnu and Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And in the previous verse, he talked about the Supreme Lord. Now, in the 16th verse, he talks about the different qualities of another feature of the Supreme Lord known as Brahman. So, Garbhodaksha Vishnu concept can be seen as Paramatma. The previous verse can be seen as the qualities of Bhagavan. And this verse can be seen as the qualities of Brahman. So Dhruva Maharaj kind of expressing his understanding about the Lord in three different features. So we will continue from this verse onwards, verse number 16. Dhruva Maharaj says, Yasmin viruddhagatayo hi anisham patanti vidyadayo vividha shaktya anupurvyat tad brahma vishwabhavamekamanaantamadyam आनन्दमात्रमविकारमहं प्रपद्ये.
My dear Lord, in your impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continually manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited and blissful, is the cause of the material manifestation. Because you are the same impersonal Brahman, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
So in this verse, the various qualities and attributes of Brahman are indicated. Aham prapadde, I surrender unto you, O my dear Lord, who manifests in the form of Brahman. What kind of Brahman? I surrender to the one infinite original Brahman. Tadekam Anantam Adyam Brahma. The one unlimited original Brahman, who is Anandamatram, bliss alone, who is Avikaram, unchanging. There are no changes in Brahman. It is Kutastha. It is always existing in the same state. The cause of the universe, Vishwa Bhavam, it is from Brahman only. The universe is manifested. Sarvam Kalau Idam Brahma. That's what we say. Everything is manifested from Brahman only.
Impersonal effulgence
Of whom?
Supreme Lord.
Then universe is coming from Supreme Lord only, na? But effulgence किसका? Supreme Lord का.
So
वहां से आ रहा है.
Indirectly.
Not indirectly, directly only.
How?
Second canto very clearly mentions that it is Karnadaksha Vishnu, whom devotees see him as Bhagavan, whom yogis see him as Paramatma, whom jnani see him as Brahman.
This is referring to the Jnani side.
No. Romara is only laying. Whoever it may be, Brahman is seen like this. Recently, I was in Hyderabad last Sunday. So they asked me to give a Brakshasri class from Ishopanishad, Mantra 15. That was about the devotee praying the Lord to remove that effulgence so that he can see the face of the Lord. So I was giving the example that because just we are getting into rain season now. In the summer, we see so many clouds in the sky. Every cloud has a particular shape. Okay. Every cloud looks very good, very wonderful. Looking somewhere in the sky. All the sky is blue and cloud is somewhat different color. That is like Bhagavan, who has a limited form, who has a particular form with a particular shape, particular dimension, particular size, particular color, etc. etc. In the rainy season, if there is only one cloud which is spread all over the sky, what is the form of the cloud? What is the form of the cloud?
Huge form.
ऐसा नहीं होता है, huge form नहीं होता है कभी. When you say form means it will have some attributes, it will have some limited dimensions. Huge कभी भी huge form नहीं बोलते. कितना huge?
Right.
That is Anantam. When a cloud is everywhere, that is Brahman. When a cloud is in limited position, that is Bhagavan. And you take a one particle of the cloud, that is Paramatma. What is that verse? Anoraniyam Mahato Mahiyam. Anoraniyam is Paramatma. Mahato Mahiyam is Brahman. It is the same person only. When you see him as a small fragment, is Paramatma. When you see him as unlimited, is Brahman. When you see him as limited perceivable form, is Bhagavan. So it is like that. So it is from Mahavishnu only the universe are coming. So he is Brahman only. But that Mahavishnu, when he becomes big, that's what Bhagavatam 11th chapter 3rd canto says. One universe covered by 8 layers, and each layer is 10 times thicker than the previous layer. The entire universe with all the 8 layers appears to be like a Paramanu in comparison to Mahavishnu. Then what will be the size of the Mahavishnu? That is Brahman. The infinite size of Mahavishnu is Brahman. But when devotee offers prayers to Mahavishnu, Mahavishnu appears to be like a form which is same as that of the devotee. That is Bhagavan. So it's like that. That's how we need to understand the same person, but in different way of perception.
Brahman is person or impersonal?
You tell me, what is your understanding? Is a cloud in the rainy season which is spreading all over? Does it have a form?
No.
It will have a form, but your eyes can't see. That is your problem, not the cloud problem. The cloud itself is having a huge form, as you mentioned, but that hugeness is beyond your perception. So that's why it is unlimited.
So you are saying that Brahman is personal, but because we cannot perceive it, we call it impersonal. Undivided, original, changeless, unlimited.
Unchanging, avikaram, the cause of the universe, Vishwa Bhavam, within which are always seen successively various energies. The Brahman Visena, Anirvachaniya, Nirvishesha, Nirvikara, etc. Though we may not be able to see the energies within Brahman, since it is Kutastha, it is Ananda Matram, but there are various energies are there, such as Vidya having contrary natures. As Ishwar mentions, Ishwar also mentions about the Lord's various potencies. He is inside, he is outside, he walks, he does not walk, he stays at one place, but he is behind, he is ahead of every Devata, etc. etc. All the contrary qualities are also possessed in the Brahman. So, like that, here Dhruva Maharaj is indicating his understanding of Brahman. Hare Krishna, devotees are able to follow?
Yes, Prabhuji.
I surrender to the unchangeable bliss alone, the Brahman, which is Lord's greatness, manifested by Bhakti Mishra Jnana to those absorbed in Shanta alone, Shanta Rasa alone. The Jnanis who are practicing Jnana or Ashtanga Yoga, they generally prefer to be in Shanta Rasa. They generally prefer to be in Brahman, impersonal Brahma Jyoti, so that they can remain calm, composed, and continue to meditate on the Brahman aspect of the Supreme Lord. So, which is situated far from the Lord, who are incapable of accepting the various qualities of the eternally conscious Lord. So Dhruva is saying that I surrender to the unchangeable bliss alone, the Brahman, which is Lord's greatness, manifested by the Jnana Mishra, Bhakti Mishra Jnana, to those absorbed in Shanta alone, who are situated far from the Lord. Matlab, the Jnanis, they only aspire to understand about Brahman, they only aspire to be with Brahman. Since they do not want to understand about Bhagavan, since they do not want to know about the Lord, they do not want to stay with the Lord. For them, Lord is always very far. Lord will be situated at a distance. So in that way. And the Lord, and who are incapable of accepting various qualities of the eternally conscious Lord. The Supreme Lord who possesses unlimited qualities, but the Jnanis are not interested in all those qualities. They are only interested in qualityless Brahman, formless Brahman. So that is the understanding. Though appearing to have no Shaktis, within the Brahman are always seen successively various Shaktis such as Vidya. From external point of view, Brahman seems to be without form, without qualities, without attributes, and without energies, one may say. But Brahman possesses unlimited energies, such as Vidya, etc. According to the amount of bhakti, the person will be close to the Lord. For those who have only small amount of bhakti, by the practice of Bhakti Mishra Jnana, they cannot realize the variety of qualities in the Supreme Lord. For them, you appear as Brahman, possessing Vidya Shakti, which reveals the qualities and attributes of Brahman. Vidya Shakti means the practice of Jnana, practice of Ashtanga Yoga. That is basically Vidya Shakti. Then, little bit elevated, we have little bit more bhakti. For them, Paramatma is revealed. You appear as the Purusha, known as Karnaduksha Vishnu, who is called as Paramatma, possessing Maya Shakti, the cause of the universe, to those with a little more bhakti. For the Jnani who has very little bhakti, you appear as Brahman. For a yogi who has little more bhakti, you appear as Paramatma. But for the devotees who have more bhakti, you appear as yourself, as Bhagavan. Seeing with complete bhakti, one realizes Bhagavan possessing unlimited Shaktis, having all powers and sweetness. One who enters deeply in the Lord realizes the Lord as the ocean of grace, the ocean of surprise, the ocean of arts, the ocean of beauty, and the ocean of pastimes. Yeah, 4 category of devotees are mentioned here. The Jnanis who possess little bhakti, they understand the Supreme Lord as Brahman. And the yogis who possess little more bhakti understand the Supreme Lord as Purusha or Paramatma. The devotees who have more bhakti will understand Bhagavan, the Lord of Vaikuntha, possessing unlimited energies, having all powers and sweetness. But those who enter deeply into the bhakti, those who are Ananya Bhaktas, they do not know anything else. They will realize the Lord as the ocean of grace, ocean of surprise, ocean of arts, ocean of beauty, and ocean of pastimes, which indicates Lord Sri Krishna. So like that, 4 category of sadhakas are indicated in this verse.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Matush.
Okay, you want to continue, Prabhuji? First you continue, then I will.
So there is an example given. How to what is the meaning of this understanding of 4 revelations: Brahman, Paramatma, Lord of Vaikuntha, and Sri Krishna. Person situated far from a town cannot understand all the details of the town. They see only an object in front. It's like Brahman object, Brahman realization. When you travel in a train at a far distance, you see a town. When you travel by airplane, you see a small town, but you don't know what is there in the town. But if they are somewhat closer to the town, they see the trees. That is like Paramatma feature. If they approach near the town, they see it as a town with groves, towers, gates, houses, and flags. They get to see the different buildings, roads, etc. But on actually entering the town, they realize it. They realize it is a place for enjoying with colorful ponds, roads, markets, intersections, arenas, dancing, singing, and instrumental music. It's like that. It is one town only, but from far, it appears to be like a colorful object. So when you come closer, you may see a lot of trees, within the trees. As you come closer, you may see a lot of buildings, lot of roads. But actually, when you enter there, you understand that all these places are meant for enjoyment. So, like that, the 4 different stages of understanding of a town are mentioned. The same thing is also mentioned in one of the Upanishads. There is an Upanishad called as Shishupala Vada Upanishad. So, in that it is said that Narada realized Lord Krishna as a mass of light. That is Brahman realization. And then realized that it was a form with a body. That is Paramatma realization. Then he recognized various limbs. The various limbs of the form. Then he understood that this was a man. Light, a body, and various limbs, and actually a human. These are like 4 categories of realization. So these are like different way of revelation of the absolute truth to the people with a different amount of bhakti. What are these shaktis that Brahman possesses? They are contrary in nature. As the Upanishad says, all these attributes are there in the Brahman. Though externally we may say that the Brahman is attributeless, but Brahman also possesses all these contrary qualities. Though there are oppositions such as knowledge and ignorance, creation and destruction, being born and not being born, being inactive and full of pastimes, being neutral Atma Rama, and being affectionate to the devotees, they are inconceivable energies, eternally situated in you, the Lord of conflicting qualities. So, my dear Lord, though you manifest in the form of Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, and Sri Krishna, but you possess all these contrary qualities. All these are there in you. So, like that, Dhruva is explaining his understanding of the Supreme Lord in his 3 different features. First as Paramatma, then as Bhagavan, now in this verse as Brahman. Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I didn't understand the meaning of this first sentence in the translation, that the Brahman, there are always 2 opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Like, like you just now you explained that Brahman is the form of a bliss, like Shantarasa kind of a thing. So how we understand knowledge and ignorance both exist at the same time in the form of the Lord. Means Brahman is also.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse number 4 and 5. The 2 verses says that Lord is the origin of all the qualities that we come across in the material world. 4 and 5. Ram Sarvasya Prabhu was 8th verse. All the qualities are indicated in that verse. That verse also says that there is knowledge and there is also ignorance. See, it is not that these qualities are there in the Lord. The understanding is that all these qualities manifest from the Lord. So unless until it is there in the Lord, how it is manifesting? But Lord may not be subjected to all these qualities. They all emanate from him. And we are subjected to all these qualities. So like that.
Okay, and Prabhuji, here means Dhruva, although he's seeing the all beautiful form of the Lord in front of him, still like he just for the glorifying purpose he's mentioning all this, na, that the Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan, and then the Lord of Heart, like first the Vaikuntha.
Not like that. What was how the prayer started? When Lord Vishnu touched him, he understood the conclusions of the Vedic literatures. So what he is speaking is the essence of the Vedas. The Vedas by default talk about Brahman, talk about Paramatma, talk about Bhagavan. So in one sense, what Vedas talk about is presenting in brief.
Okay. That is, I got confused that why when Lord is in front of him, why he's talking about Brahman and all this. Yeah, now I understand. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, no, klesho dikatarasesham avyakta satya chetasam. that was. How do we understand this from that context?
Lord says that, I mean, there are different processes. Among all the processes, especially the traditional yoga system, which one practices Nishkama Karma Yoga, the Grihastha. Then after taking to renunciation, one practices Jnana. Then eventually when one is sufficiently renounced, then one takes shelter of Ashtanga Yoga to give up the body and attain Brahman. This entire traditional yoga system is filled with lot of difficulties. Klesho adhikara tesham avyakta asakta chestam, because their one and only one motive is to enter into Brahman. While practicing and after completing also, I mean, they are not able to taste that bliss of being with the Lord. So with that intention, Lord is giving that comparison. But when it comes to the devotees, Lord said that Am Samuddarta. So
Mrityu
I will
samsara
deliver them
sagarat.
swiftly. Yeah, Samsara Sagarat. I swiftly deliver them like Dhruva Maharaj. So he just practiced for 6 months. So he's going to get what Lord is going to award in the future verses.
No, but here
So
in this verse, purport mein we saw ki even the Brahman, the Gyanis, Bhakti Mishra Gyanis, some of them, they have this, at least they're seeing the town. Like you gave the example of the township. At least from far, they're seeing the town. So that is
yes,
good, na?
but that is all in all. That is not all in all. Town is meant for enjoyment. Town is not just to see as
Yeah.
a object from far.
No, because in Bhagavad Gita, when we do the Bhagavad Gita, the context is negative, saying that, no, it is very difficult and all those things we say. But here, at least we have reached about to seeing the town at least.
No, it's not like that. You see the chapter, what is the context in which the chapter is being spoken? There are two paths Lord Krishna spoke in the Bhagavad Gita. One path which is described from chapter 3 to chapter 6.
Yeah, 6.
The second path is described in chapter 7.
Yeah.
So in chapter 8, he talked about the destiny of both the people.
Yeah.
So now Arjuna is asking, you talked about two paths. So please tell me the vis-a-vis, pros and cons of the two paths. Please compare both of them. That comparison is doing in the 12th chapter.
Okay.
Two are there. For Arjuna, he has given two options. He is comparing them. And the same thing he does in the 18th chapter also. From 18th chapter 41 to 55, he summarizes the first path. 52 to 62, 61, he summarizes the second path. Then he says that to follow whichever one you want. I have described you two paths. Select one and follow. You remember?
Yeah. Yes. Because the first part he talks about Kshatriyas, Brahmanas, and all those in 41 to that verse is there, 52.
41 to 55, that is the traditional yoga process. Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Ashtanga Yoga. The second path is Bhakti. So deliberate on these two paths and select which one you want and follow.
Okay.
So that is how Bhagavad Gita goes on.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhupada.
It's not a negative connotation, it is comparison. So in traditional path, there is a lot of hardships. In Bhakti path, hardships are there, but while engaging in hardships also one experiences bliss. So in that way, one is not in hardships. So it is like that. So now, Dhruva, last prayer. This is the last prayer. This is like interesting prayer. So Lord is saying that it is true. You know my Swarupa. The Lord asked me, what do you know about me? Then Dhruva Maharaj told about Paramatma. He told about Bhagavan. He also told about Brahman. So Lord is saying that, yes, you know about my Swarupa in three features. I understand that you understood. Though now you are without material desire, I'll give you the result that you previously were determined to achieve. Because the previous verse, Dhruva said that in his prayers, he never asked for a material desire. He only said that I just want your association of your devotees. I don't want Swarga, I don't want Apavarga. He clearly mentioned these three things. I don't want heaven, I don't want impersonal liberation. Just I want association of your devotees that will help me to combat with the material struggle. So, but Lord said that no. Since you approached me with a desire, I will give you the result that you previously were determined to achieve. Please take it. So then, describing his ignorance, Dhruva prays for the sweetness of prema in this verse. Now Dhruva is going to submit that. So due to lack of knowledge, I asked for it. But now I am not interested in that. I am ignorant. I don't know what is good for me. So with that intention, Dhruva is going to speak this verse. In this verse, he himself compares at the calf and is comparing the Lord as the cow. So like that he speaks. Satyashisho hi bhagavam stava pada padmam ashistataanubhajata purushartha murte apyeva marya bhagavan paripati deenan vasreva vastakamanugrahakatarosman.
My Lord, O Supreme Lord, you are the supreme personified form of all benedictions. Therefore, for one who abides in your devotional service with no other desire, worshipping your lotus feet is better than becoming king and lording it over a kingdom. That is the benediction of worshipping your lotus feet. To ignorant devotees like me, you are the causelessly merciful maintainer, just like a cow who takes care of the newly born calf by supplying milk and giving it protection from attack.
Yeah, he is very nicely submits his lack of proper understanding at the end. Oh Lord, you are the very form of all human goals. Purushartha Murte. You are like Varadarshaba. You are like Varadaraj. You can fulfill all one's desires. And you are obtainable by those who worship you continually without material desires. Ashis Tata Anubhajata. But you yourself are attained. People generally worship you for fulfilling their material desires. You can fulfill everyone's desires, all different desires. But only those devotees who worship continuously without any material desires, they get you as their desire. So these are two different category of people. Your lotus feet are the highest attainable blessings. What such kind of devotees want or what kind of blessing they aspire for? They only aspire for your lotus feet. Why? Surpassing material desires like acquisition of a kingdom. They are not at all, because your lotus feet are much superior to the getting of a kingdom like that of Brahma and all, etc. That is much superior. So these intelligent devotees only aspire your lotus feet. Others aspire for material goals. Oh Master, the Lord maintains even unfortunate person like me, giving a small taste of those feet, since he is eager to give mercy. Though I have come to you with a material desire asking for a kingdom which is superior to that of Brahma, but Lord is compassionate, who is eager to give his own mercy to his devotees. So therefore, please, may you also give me a small taste of your lotus feet. I belong to first category of devotees, but I also aspire the desire, the lotus feet, which is aspired by the second category of devotees. That is the best category of devotees in that sense. Like a cow, which nourishes and protects her calf, may you also nourish and protect me, who is like a calf. So like that, Dhruva Maharaj expresses his lack of proper understanding and he submits himself as a inferior devotee. So that's how he concludes his prayers. O Lord, your lotus feet are the highest blessing, the supreme result, more than the acquisition of a kingdom like that of Indra or Brahma. Then Lord says, for whom am I the highest blessing? How can, my dear Dhruva, how can you say that I am the highest blessing? You are the personification of the Purusharthas for those who worship you without material desires. The people who are after Purusharthas might say that Dharmartha Kama Moksha. The material people may want Dharmartha Kama Moksha from you. But actually the intelligent people only say that you are the highest Purushartha. You are the culmination of all the Purushartha. They say that we only want you. Like that, the intelligent devotees say. Because for them, you are the Purushartha. So then he says that, but still, you maintain even wretched persons like us who worship you with material desires by giving a little sweetness of your lotus feet, obtained by which is obtained actually by worshipping you without desires. Generally, the sweetness of your lotus feet is not awarded to the people who worship you with material desires because they approached you with material desires. You are supposed to fulfill that only. But still, you are anugraha kata rosmi. You are favorably inclined to the devotees. May you also give the materialist devotees like me little taste for your lotus feet. What is the reason? Why are you asking for that? Then Dhruva says, you are eager to give mercy, thinking that because he is a young boy, even though he does not know pure bhakti to me, I will give him a taste of pure bhakti's result. That is my sweetness. Then he will start practicing pure bhakti without any material desires. So that is your nature. So please give me little bit taste of your lotus feet. Thus, you are like a cow who makes the ignorant calf drink milk, even though the calf does not serve the cow, and who protects the calf from the wild animals like wolves. After the calf was born, the cow takes care of the calf very, what you can say, very strongly. Cow does not allow anybody to come near to the calf. And even though calf did not just was born, calf just born, still the cow gives her own milk to the calf for the calf's nourishment. Even though calf did not serve the cow, cow only to give the milk, but cow out of her own affection, out of her own causeless mercy, gives the milk to the calf and protects the calf. So like that, even though I have not served you in any way, so it is your nature to give shelter, protection and love to your devotees. So please give it. Similarly, you should let me have a taste of sweetness of bliss at your lotus feet and protect me from the obstacles to bhakti in the form of material desires. So like that.
Prabhuji, this
Hmm.
sorry, Kauka example came in Rudrasu's prayers, na, where he says 3 examples he gives, and this cow was the other example which he gives, na, where the cow is not serving the this thing. Sorry, the calf
Yes.
is not serving the cow, but still cow is protecting the calf.
Yes, 3 examples he gives,
Yeah,
like a bird
yeah.
and small
Yeah.
birds, cow, calf, and the wife and husband.
Yeah.
Yes, here are the same example. As soon as the calf is born, calf did not do anything. So from the material point of view, cow not to do anything. But from the motherly affection point of view, cow does everything for the calf. So like that. So that is the nature of the Lord. Like that is comparing. So that's how he concludes his prayers. The same thing we can see this verse also. This is a famous verse which Prabhupada quotes always. Tana bilashi tapasa sapasi stitoham tvam praptvan deva munindra guyam kachan vichinnam apidivya ratnam stamin kurtatosmi varamna yache. So my dear Lord, I came to Madhuvan with a desire to get a place superior to my forefathers. And I was performing austerities. As a result, I obtained you. I got your darshan, which is very difficult for even for devatas and the munis and others. But I was looking for a broken piece of the classes, but I obtained a diamond in the form of your audience. So I'm completely satisfied. I do not want any more benedictions. Swamin Kritatosmi Varamna Yache. I do not want anything else.
Prabhuji, which is this verse comes where, like, means in Dhruva Maharaj prayers only, but means it will come further.
This is from Haribhak Shuddhodaya 728, which is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay, because
sorry,
I
Dhruva
was
Maharaj.
actually waiting for this verse that Dhruva Maharaj prayers, this verse is there where it will come, but now we came to the last verse of the prayers of Dhruva, so I was wondering where this verse is. Because it's quite famous.
We have 18 major Puranas, 18 minor Puranas. So one of the minor Purana is Bruhad Naradaya Purana or something like that. So in which Narada Muni talks about the devotional service of Dhruva and Prahlada. So in that Purana, Dhruva Maharaj offered this prayer, which is quoted by Sanatana Goswami in Haribhakti Shuddhodaya.
Dhruva Maharaj must have offered many more prayers, but only some are selected.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Only some prayers are selected here in the Bhagavatam.
Prabhuji, can you share this prayer with us? Means the words and the translation.
You have got this, na? It is here only. The verse is here, translation is here. You get the slides also.
Okay. No,
I
this
have already
Hari.
shared the slides.
Okay, it's there in the slides. Okay, I'll check.
No, that's what we are seeing the slides only, na Mataji?
No, that this is 4915. What I'm seeing on my screen, like.
Yeah, this is 4917. We are discussing from verse number 17. In the purport, I added this.
But the slide I can see on my screen is 4915. It is.
Now, how can Hare Krishna, other devotees, which slides you are seeing?
15,
What we are
Prabhuji.
discussing, you are seeing properly or not?
No, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji.
Then no one is saying that.
No, Prabhuji.
1 second. Now,
Now the screen share only is gone.
no, you
Now
will get
right,
it.
Prabhuji.
Now we can.
4917.
Yeah.
See, what I am discussing, if you are not seeing, you should tell me immediately. If you wait for long, then what is the use? So
Okay.
here you see the slide.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So not only for this, but in general, sometimes because of the software issue, sometimes it may not be showing, but you should tell me immediately if you are not seeing what we are discussing. Okay. So we'll continue. So this is the kind of last prayer and summary of all these prayers we can see in this verse, which is from Bruhad Naradiya Purana, which is one of the 18 minor Puranas, which Sanatana Goswami quotes in Haribhakti Shuddhodaya, and which is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Sri Lakshmana Kaviraj Goswami. And Prabhupada quotes this verse in many of his lectures. And in the Bhagavatam, many places there, even in this Dhruva Maharaj prayers also, this verse comes in many, in 2-3 verses. So it's like that.
Prabhuji,
But
what is
Prabhupada does not quote the complete verse, but he talks about the meaning of the verse.
Prabhuji, what is the difference between major Puran and minor Puran?
Number of verses.
Okay, that only. Okay.
And here our Prabhuji Binit Prabhu says 10 topics and 5 topics. Major Purana talks about 10 topics, minor Purana talks about 5 topics, which is mentioned in the 12th canto of Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Major means big, minor means small. Simple. Small Purana in terms of pastimes, in terms of topics, in terms of number of verses, etc.
No, I thought because sometimes it is also there na, that some are for Sattva-guni, some are for Rajoguni, some are for Tamoguni or something.
Even
Any
in minor Purana also there could be some Sattva Guni, Samoguni, Rajoguni also. That categorization always there. That is always there.
Okay.
Vishnu Purana is in the major Purana category and Sattva-guna Purana category. It can be different, na, Prabhuji. If you repeat the same wording everywhere, what is the fun in that? It is like that. The 7 Rishis met him. I don't know. I never read Vishnu Purana. Saptarishis here also meets Dhruva Maharaj later on. In the 12th chapter, they meet him. Saptarishis will come and talk to him.
Is that Narad Muni initiated him? Hey, this is initiated. I don't know why.
That is meant. हाँ हाँ हो सकता है ना कल्प भेद. So this kalpa Narada Muni initiated him in some other kalpa, some other sages initiate him. That is okay. That can be possible. Why not? It can be possible.
ब्रह्मांड भेद भी हो सकता है ना प्रभु जी?
नहीं, not ब्रह्मांड भेद. कल्प भेद only. ब्रह्मांड भेद बहुत हो गए. So now.
Prabhuji, we say, when we say Kalpa Ved or Brahmanda Ved, does it mean that a similar pastime keep happening? Means the details may vary, but similar things keep happening over again and again.
At least that is the understanding. Acharyas say that whatever is happening in this, like we have 14 Manvantaras. The next day of Brahma also there are 14 Manvantaras with the same names. The Jiva may be different, but the name will be same. So like that it is indicated by Jiva Goswami in his commentary to Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So like that all these pastimes might be happening again and again, but with the different details. May not be same exactly, but in a little different way.
Because Lord is filled with so much of a variety and so much of a beauty of everything, means of beauty, not only bodily beauty, the pastimes and everything. So why would he will do same thing again and again?
Okay, then Lord Krishna appeared this time, and again he will appear in the next day of Brahma. Lord Rama also appeared this time, next day also he appear. This time Ramayana, whatever Ramayana we read, that happened. So next time what happens? Also something maybe similar to Ramayana only, maybe a little different. We don't know. Since we don't know, people kind of extrapolate it.
Yeah,
so that's how we can see.
Because again, same Putana, same Bakasur, same series of demons and things. It will
But
maybe.
it's okay. Even the same also, it is after a long time, na.
Yeah.
By the influence of time, everyone forgets. If it comes back again, it appears to be new only. It won't be same.
Yeah.
Because for us, we are hearing about Lord Krishna's pastime, which recently happened. For us, appearing everything new. But by the time next day comes, everyone will forget everything. So then everything appears to be new that time. So
And
it won't be same.
Yeah, he is Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavanam. So his Leelas also will be with Navayavan. They will be fresh, like something like that.
So we'll continue. Maitreya Uvacha Atabhisuta evam vai satsankalpena dhimata Vrutyanurakto Bhagavan Prati Nandedam Abravit. Read the translation.
Great sage Maitreya. Yeah, the great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, when Dhruva Maharaj, who had good intentions in his heart, finished his prayers, the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, who is very kind to his devotees and servants, congratulated him, speaking as follows.
Yeah, Maitreya says that after hearing himself praised thus by the intelligent boy having great determination, the Supreme Lord, attracted to his servant, accepted the praise and then spoke as follows. What did the Lord say? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Vedaham te vyavasitam hrudi rajanya bhalaka tat prayachami bhadraante durapam apisuvrata.
The personality of Godhead said, My dear Dhruva, son of the king, you have executed pious vows, and I also know the desire within your heart. Although your desire is very ambitious and very difficult to fulfill, I shall favor you with its fulfillment. All good fortune unto you.
Yeah. Now Lord is responding to Dhruva, being very much pleased with Dhruva and Dhruva's austerities and Dhruva's prayers. O Prince, determined in vows, Suvrata, I know what you resolved in your heart. All auspicious unto you. I will award that place which is rarely achieved and also prema. So my dear Dhruva, I'll certainly fulfill your desire with which you came to the forest to perform austerities. That Padam Dribhuvanotkrishtam Jigisho Sadhu Atmame, which is not attained very easily, which is very rarely attained. Anyway, I'll offer it to you. But since you also asked that you don't know what is right for you, just like a cow which takes care of the protection of the calf and also offers the bliss. Similarly, I'll also offer you little prema. Both I'll offer you. Like that, Lord is saying. Oh Prince, your desire for power is natural. Since you are born in a Kshatriya family, obviously by nature, you will want a place and power. It is natural. There is nothing wrong in that. Therefore, I will fulfill the desire. Then Dhruva says, but then you will not give me prema. Then Lord says, oh, all auspicious unto you. Do not worry. I will also give you prema. This is indicated by words, by the word api. So Lord says, I will fulfill your desire. Also award you that prema. I will fulfill your desire because you only asked Narada Muni that padam tribhuvanotkrishtam jigisho sadhu atmame bruhi asmat pitribir brahman anye rapi adishtitam. Please tell me the correct path. Desire in the best position in the three worlds, which has not been attained by my forefathers or others. So like that. Please accept that place now. Because that was your desire with which you came to the forest. I need to fulfill that desire, first of all. Afterwards, other things, but first of all, I need to give you that. So then, Lord will indicate what is that place which is superior to the place of Brahma. Padam Tribhuvana Utkrishtam. And what are the qualities, characteristics, and location of that place? Everything is being indicated in the next 3-4 verses. So Lord says, Nanyer adishtitam badra yat brajishnu druvakshiti yatra grahakshataranam jyotisham chakramahitam medyam go chakravastanshu parastat kalpavasinam dharmo agnir kashyapa shukro munayo ye vanaukasa charanti dakshini kritya Brahmanto yastar sataraka.
Personality of Godhead appeared. My dear Dhruva, I shall award you the glowing planet known as the pole star, which will continue to exist even after the dissolution at the end of the millennium. No one has ever ruled this planet, which is surrounded by all the solar systems, planets, and stars. All the luminaries in the sky circumambulate this planet, just as bulls tread around a central pole for the purpose of crushing grains. Keeping the pole star to their right, all the stars inhabited by the great sages like Dharma, Agni, Kashyapa, and Shukra circumambulate this planet, which continues to exist even after the dissolution of all others.
Yeah. So here Lord is talking about that place which is going to award it to Dhruva. Oh fortunate boy, I give you that radiant place which is eternal. Dhruva Kshiti, which remains eternal. Not attained by anyone else. Na anye radhishtitam. No one attended previously. What is that place? The zodiac of planets, constellations, and stars revolve around it. Graha, Riksha, Taranam, Jyotisham. This place is circumambulated by Kala Chakra, made up of 12 Rashis. Jyotisham stands for 12 Rashis. And Tara stands for all the other stars. Riksha stands for 27 Nakshatras. Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, etc. And Graha stands for Navagrahas. All these different things are circumambulating my abode. That abode which I am going to award you. How? Like oxen walking around a central pillar to grind grains. So like that. That place remains till the end of Brahma's life. Parastat kalpavasinam. So the abodes which are known as Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, which are meant for kalpavasinam, which are meant for those people who live for one day of Brahma, will be destroyed at the end of the day of Brahma. but Dhruvaloka will remain for the entire lifespan of Brahma. It will not be destroyed. So something like that. And this place is surrounded by, as circumambulated by Dharma, Agni, Kashyapa, Shukra. Shukra stays in the Venus, Kashyapa stays in Cancer, and Agni stays in Kritika, Dharma stays in Bharani. So that is understanding. And also the Big Dipper. Big Dipper refers to Saptarushi Mandal. They are also continuously revolving. They revolve around the Dhruvaloka in clockwise direction along with the stars. All these great personalities who are residing in different constellations, nakshatras, tarakas, zodiac signs and planets, along with the remaining taraka stars, they continuously revolve around Dhruvaloka. Basically, they are doing circumambulation, parikrama around Dhruvaloka. So that is the position of Dhruvaloka, which is worshipped by everyone in the world. So in this way. Why are we worshipping Lord Krishna? Wait, answer the question. Same, that Supreme Lord, who is the maintainer of the entire universe, is living in the Dhruvaloka. For Devatas, their immediate Lord is Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So they are doing the needful.
Kshirodaksha Vishnu resides in Dhruva. Worship at Kshirosagar, what is that Kshirosagar?
That only. In Dhruvaloka only, there is one ocean known as Milk Ocean. In that Milk Ocean, there is an island called Shvetadipa. In that island resides Lord Kshirodaksha Vishnu, who is the maintainer of the entire universe, who gives that responsibility to Devatas to do the maintenance. And that maintenance is done by the movement of the planets, constellations, zodiac signs, and tarakas. By their movement only maintenance is happening. They don't have to do anything more than that. They just have to move around. That's all.
So Prabhuji, here it is said that no one has yet ruled over Dhruvaloka. That means earlier only Lord only as a Kshirodaksha Vishnu is ruling over, and that he is awarding to the Dhruva. It should be understood that way.
Yes, yes. Other than the Lord, no one was there previous to Dhruva. So in that way.
Okay, means it is an inhabited planet, but it was ruled by Kshirodaksha Vishnu. That.
Yes, yes.
And like means what we understand with our limited material understanding is like we see that all the stars and planets, they revolve around the sun. So here when we are hearing that all these planets are revolving around the Dhruvaloka, it is means this
even sun is revolving around Dhruvaloka only.
Oh, okay.
Graha, Navagrahas. If you go to any Lord Shiva temple, there are Navagrahas. Graha stands for Navagrahas. They are all revolving around Dhruvaloka. Riksha stands for 27 nakshatras, which are very familiar in India. Everyone knows. They are revolving around Dhruvaloka. And Jyotisham stands for 12 zodiac signs. Mesha, Vrishapa, they are also revolving around Dhruvaloka. And Tara, all other stars, whatever we see in the night, they are also revolving around Dhruvaloka. In addition to them, we also have Saptarushi Mandal, that is also revolving around Dhruvaloka.
So all this is been talked. It is of the spiritual world, Prabhuji, like, or it is
not
in the
spiritual
material
world. Here only, Amara Sarake upar everything every day we can see. May not be in Mumbai. If you go to our hometown village, we can see all these are moving around every day. Obviously. Kabhi dekha nahi? Either only 19 degrees in the northern direction. At a height of 19 degrees, you can see Dhruva star. Pole star you can see every day. But not in Mumbai.
Yeah, pole star is being talked about even in the scientific books also. But means all the other planets are revolving around that. That is what first time I'm getting to know.
Yeah. That's how far we are from our Vedic culture, our Vedic literatures. No. Not like that. Not like that.
And other one more thing was there, Prabhuji, like here all those rishis are been mentioned, na Kashyapa and all those, they are there in means you also mentioned that we on Venus that Shukra stays and all those things. So whatever pastimes or whatever their pastimes we have heard about the Kashyapa and things. So all those happen in their respective planets, Prabhuji, or
Not
they
necessarily, not necessarily. That is their residence for the time period. For the time being, for one manvantara, they may stay there. But all the pastimes mentioned according to the place, like pastimes in Kashyapa. Kashyapa pastimes might be happening in there also, might be happening in somewhere in the Himalayas also, somewhere in the Bhumandala, some kingdom here also. Because sometimes they come to Bhumandala to perform tapasya. Because the Bhumandala they get tapasya results very quickly. They come here and perform tapasya. Some pastime might happen here also. So you need to see the context, which pastime is happening where. According
yeah,
to one
because
person be involved in 4 or 5 pastimes, but one pastime might be happening in the heaven, one pastime might be happening in earth. So all these things you need to be carefully understand where it is happening and all.
because sometimes we have some places on the earth na, here that here this happened or that, like how we talk about Bindu Sarovar and things like that. So that is, yeah, but now you explained, so it is clear that like how a person goes to different places at different times, they may be traveling like that and the past times.
Yes, yes. Sometimes they come here and during at least the previous 3 yugas, they come in a practical, visible way for performing some austerities in order to meet some great devotee kings, etc. In Kali Yuga, they do come, but they come in invisible way, or sometimes they come in disguised form. They don't come in their self-same bodies.
Yeah.
So that's how they come.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Prabhu, you asked something.
Even if they were to come, who is going to recognize them?
They don't want to be recognized by anybody. They want to be hidden. That's why they come in a disguised form and then do the needful and then go back.
So I was asking, is the place important or is the pastime important?
Both are important. So Lord is saying that I give you that residence which is eternal, possessing the zodiac belt of planets, constellations, and stars, which are like oxen circling around the central pillar to which they are tied. All these 4 category of luminaries, the Navagrahas, 27 nakshatras, and 12 rashis, and unlimited stars, and Saptarushi Mandal, they are all very closely tied to Dhruvaloka. They are connected through a rope, which is called as Vata Rashmi, a rope made up of wind. So being connected by that rope, they are continuously revolving around Dhruvaloka every day, making one circumambulation, and their motion is controlled by Dhruvaloka. Whoever is there in Dhruvaloka, currently Dhruva Maharaj is controlling their motion. So it is like that. So, and that place remains fixed for the duration of Brahma's life, for those living for the duration, for that duration. So it is like that. The abode of Kshirodaksha Vishnu remains for the entire lifespan of Brahma. So that is the understanding.
Prabhuji,
Though at the day,
no, you continue, Prabhuji. Then
though at the end of the day of Brahma, all the 14 planet systems are destroyed, but Dhruvaloka does not become destroyed. That is the understanding.
Prabhuji, here it is mentioned that for those who stay for that much time period, but who are the people who stay for the time period of Brahma's lifetime?
Lord Vishnu stays, Mother Lakshmi stays, Lord Vishnu's eternal associates stay,
But
and devotees, when they go to Vaikuntha, they also stay.
eternal associates will be in the spiritual sky, na Prabhuji? You mentioned that means like Dhruva Loka is in the physical material realm, like so. Like in the material realm, only Brahmaji we have heard that he has such a long lifespan, but I don't know whether all those staying in the Brahma
Not
Loka.
Brahma. See, all the people who are living in the upper 4 planets also, they have long life. Personalities like Narada, Vasistha, Pulaha, Kratu, Murugu, Angira, 4 Kumaras, they all also live for entire lifespan of 100 years of Brahma. All of them stay in this material world for complete lifespan of Brahma. Their life is also as long as that of Brahma.
Yeah, please forgive me, Prabhuji. I understood this, but when we say that he will be the king of that planet, there has to be some prajana on whom he will rule, like only just handful
Mataji,
of people.
forget about ruling. We are not talking about the ruling. Lord is saying that you will go there only. King बनने का कभी बोला?
So he's giving the planet means what? He will be the king only. No, it is not meant like that.
Sorry, first of all, don't call it as a planet. He is giving it the abode. He is giving Dhruva. It is not a planet.
Okay.
That is the problem with our English. We don't have enough words in English to indicate what is what. Planet means in Sanskrit graha. We only have 9 grahas. Only those 9 things should be called as planet. For everything, we should not call as planet. We can call as abode. It is a place of residence. It is not a planet. Earth is not a planet. Earth is Bhuloka. It is Bhuloka. Graha is continuously revolving, continuously moving around, doing parikrama around Dhruva. Continuously moving around Dhruva. Stationary. It does not revolve. Wherever it is. Wherever it is stationary, it does not move anywhere.
Because to begin with, Prabhuji, Dhruva wanted a kingdom, right? So he did the all
Wait.
the
See, Mataji, please don't get into all that. You wait till the discussion gets over. I'll tell you everything. We
okay.
just began one verse. You don't get into all the details. He wanted Padam Tribhuvanotkrustam Jigisho Sadhu Atmami. He wanted a place which is superior to the abode of the leader of the 3 planetary system, that is Brahma. What Lord is awarding, slowly, step by step, things will be revealed. Don't get into the final thing. Don't compare all the things right now. Be patient. Let us discuss all the 4-5 verses all the way up to 27th verse. Then we will see. Then we will compare. What he wanted, what he got, everything is proper or not. Let us examine that time. Whether he has got a kingdom, whether people are there or not, let us see. Wait till then.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah.
So now Lord Vishnu is introducing what is Dhruva. Dhruva is a abode which stays eternally for the entire lifespan of Brahma. And where that place is located and what are the different qualities of that place? This place is worshipped by and worshipped by all the different devatas. How they are worshipping him? By circumambulating him every day one round. Who are all the different people circumambulating him? The Navagrahas, the 27 nakshatras, the 12 rashis, and unlimited tarakas, and saptarushis, and also personalities like, who are the personalities here? We have Dharma, who stays in Bharani. We have Agni, who stays in Kritika. We have Kashyapa, who stays in Cancer. Cancer is Rashi. And we have Shukracharya, who stays in Venus. Venus is Graha. This is Graha. This is Rashi. This is these two are nakshatras. Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, these are all nakshatras. So like that. So some examples are shown here. Who stays in different places, etc. For us, who are taught in modern education, our understanding, our conceptions are entirely different. For us, stars are like different suns. So for us, planet means like another Earth. It's not like that. They are all different abodes. They are all meant for different devata. They are all part of Sargaloka, Bhuvarloka, etc. And Dhruvaloka, since Lord himself is present, it is as good as Vaikunta. Though it is there in the material world, it is Vaikunta, and Lord does not stay alone. He always stays with his eternal associates. His associates are always there in that Dhruvaloka. So, etc. It is like that. So let us discuss step by step. Then we will compare what Dhruva wanted, what he got, everything is proper or improper, etc. At the time of final destruction, some say that Dhruva ascends to Mahavaikuntha. Even though existing in the material universe, Dhruvaloka had the qualities of Shvetadipa, Madura, and Dwaraka. So one may say that how can you say that Vaikuntha can exist in the material world? Material world, everything should be like material only. Everything is subjected to Dukkha Masashtam. How can you say Vaikuntha is there? But at the same time, when the Lord is coming to the material world as a maintainer, he cannot stay in a rented apartment. He is not an ordinary person, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He cannot stay in a rented apartment. When he comes, along with him, his own abode comes. Even when Lila Avtaras also appear, even for a small amount of time, their abode comes here. When Lord Ram comes, Ayodhya comes. When Lord Krishna comes, Madura, Dwaraka, Vrindavan, they all come down to material world. They cannot stay in a rented places. Same way, when Lord Vishnu is coming here to maintain the entire universe, he is going to stay for the entire lifespan of Brahma here. How can he stay in a material places? He has to stay in his own abode. So his own abode comes down here. So since he is staying in his own abode does not subjected to the material laws and rules and regulations. So in that way, it remains eternal. Even though even though it is seen as a part of 14 planetary systems, it is not subjected to the annihilation that takes place for the 14 planetary systems at the end of every day of Brahma. This abode remains eternal since it is Lord's abode. Like that we should understand. So it is like Madura, it is like Dwaraka. Just like when Lord comes here, the Madura and Dwaraka also coming from the spiritual world. This abode of Shudaksha Vishnu also comes from the spiritual world. It is non-different from the spiritual world. So in that way. So there are a couple of verses which are present, which will come in the later part of the same canto for couple of chapters. So different verses indicate that what is that abode which was given to Dhruva. So few verses later in the 28th verse says that having attained the supreme abode of the merciful Lord, which is rarely attained through worshipping the Lord's feet within one lifetime, and though he was knowledgeable, why did he consider himself unfulfilled? This is a verse spoken by Vidura later on. So Dhruva attained Lord's own abode, which is not possible for any person ordinarily, which is only possible by worshipping the Supreme Lord continuously. In spite of that, he became dissatisfied. What was the reason? Like the Vidura asks a question in the future words. So indirect, we have to see that he attained the abode of the Supreme Lord. Then it is also mentioned that Tato Gantasi Mastanam Sarvaloka Namaskrutam Uparista Drushabistwam Yato Navartate Gata. This Lord himself speaks, one of the blessings which he is speaking now. You will go to my abode, which is worshipped by all planets. Okay. Higher than the Big Dipper, higher than the Saptarushi Mandal. Dhruva is located just above Saptarushi Mandal, from which, having gone there, you will never return. Yato na avartate gata. Having gone there, you will never return. That is the glorious position of this abode. That's how Lord is indicating. Then it said that in the 12th chapter, it said that when Jaya Vijaya, Nanda Sumanda come to take Dhruva to the abode of Lord Vishnu, that time they say that, oh Dhruva, stay in that supreme abode of Lord Vishnu, a place not achieved by your forefathers or any other person, which is worshipped by the whole universe. It is called Parampadam. It is non-different from the spiritual world only. Though it is in the material world, it is non-different from the spiritual world. That abode will be given by Lord Vishnu unto Dhruva. So that is understanding. Because Dhruva asked a place superior to the place of the Lord of the three planetary systems. So now, why Dhruvaloka is superior to the abode of Brahma or any other places? Let us just try to understand from the functional point of view. What is the abode of Lord Shiva? Where does Lord Shiva stay? Kailash. Which is the abode of Lord Brahma? Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. What is the service of Lord Shiva? Destruction. In which mode it comes? Ignorance. What is the service of Lord Brahma?
Creation.
Which mode it comes? Passion. Out of these two, which is superior? Passion. And what is the service of Lord Vishnu?
Maintenance.
In which mode it comes?
Sattva.
So among the passion and goodness, which is superior?
Goodness.
So the abode of Lord Shiva is inferior to the abode of Lord Brahma. from the point of view of service. And the abode of Lord Vishnu is superior to the abode of Lord Brahma from the point of view of service. So Dhruva asked a position which is superior to that of Lord Brahma. So which one Lord supposed to offer him? The place which is endowed with goodness, the place where he himself is staying. That's why he is offering his own place. Because there is nothing superior to the place of Brahma in the material world than his own abode. That's why he is offering his own abode. And he is not only offering his own abode, Lord Vishnu also offering his own service to Dhruva. A place means the place will come along with the responsibility. Without the responsibility, place has no meaning to it. So, having indicated what is the function of the Dhruva Loka, Lord Vishnu will offer the service of the Dhruva Loka to Dhruva Maharaj. Lord Vishnu is responsible for the maintenance of the entire universe. Thus, that maintenance service will be offered to Dhruva. Now, currently, Dhruva Maharaj is doing the maintenance of the entire universe on behalf of Lord Vishnu. It is like that. Empowerment नहीं, वो पूछा था दे दिया. So it is like that. So whom he is ruling now? He is ruling the Navagrahas. Navagrahas means everyone in the Navagrahas. He is ruling the 27 nakshatras. Everyone in the 27 nakshatras. He is ruling 12 Rashis. Everyone in the 12 Rashis. He is ruling unlimited Tarakas. Everyone in the Tarakas. And he is ruling Saptarushi Mandal. Everyone in the Saptarushi Mandal. And he is also ruling the entire universe. Especially the three planetary systems. Bhuloka, Borloka and Svargaloka. So he is ruling one and all in the three planetary systems. For
Hare
the
Krishna,
entire
Prabhu.
day. Yes, Mataji.
Then he would be ruling even Shivaloka and Brahmaloka also. And Brahmaji also comes under him then.
Okay. In one sense, he is directly responsible for the rule of Bhuloka, Borloka and Svargaloka. The upper four planetary systems are not need any maintenance from that point of view.
Okay.
So because the people who are living in them, they are in those places are all mystics only, na? The mystics are always in mystic yoga only. What kind of support system they need? So in that way. But in one sense, since Lord Vishnu is responsible for the maintenance of the 14 planetary systems of the entire universe, so the maintenance required for the Bhuloka, Borloka and Svargaloka is more in terms of vigilance and looking after. For the upper four planetary systems, maintenance is not so much required, maybe once in a while. So from that point of view, Lord is also maintaining the upper four planetary systems also, but since the maintenance is very minimal, it is ignored. So like that we have to see. So in one sense, what you said is also right. He is also ruling over Satyaloka also, but the requirement is very minimal. It is ignored. It is not considered so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So yes, Mataji, you got it, na? Whom he became the king, whom he is ruling.
Yes, Prabhuji, very well. Means I was feeling such a limited thinking capacity we have. So at least I have, and in that sphere only we think. I understood it very nice.
No problem. Bhagavatam has answer to everything. We need to wait till it reveals. No, not like that. No.
But
So,
this also means, no, Prabhuji, that in material world always there will be Vaikuntha, because Lord is will always come as a maintainer. No? So for him, he will come with his abode. So one part of Vaikuntha or one type of Vaikuntha will always be there in the material world also, right?
no, what to speak of material world? Even in Maharashtra, there is Vaikuntha. Now all entire Maharashtra is eager to go to that Vaikuntha.
Go Vaikuntha.
Yeah, Pandapur. So wherever Lord Vishnu is personally there, wherever his deity is there, that place is called as Vaikuntha. So unfortunately, many times we may not realize, but it is Vaikuntha. It is non-different from Vaikuntha. So we should see it like that.
Yeah.
Vrindavan is Goloka.
Vrindavan Krishna comes with, it is same.
Same, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, when Lord comes, he does not come and stay in a rented apartment.
When he leaves, he does not take his apartment.
There is a difference. What we see is called Bhama Vrindavan now. The Golok Vrindavan, now it has become Aprakata. It has become Aprakata. When Lord Krishna came,
Before the Lord came, this town was there or not?
yeah, place was there. How it is now, it was there before also. But when Lord is present, that time, that place will manifest the same potency as that of the spiritual world. After Lord departs or before Lord arrives and after Lord's departure, it only displays the material qualities. That like Bhauma Vrindavan.
So right now, if we go to Vrindavan,
Ah.
you are saying it does not have that same potency?
With our material vision, if you see, we only see it as any other place like Mumbai only. But if we have Shuddha vision, that Aprakata Vrindavan will be revealed to you. Not for everyone. If you develop the vision of Goswamis, you will get to see that Aprakata Vrindavan, the spiritual Vrindavan. Right now, what we see is only Bhauma Vrindavan.
Depends on who is seeing.
Not we seeing, with what consciousness we see. So it is like that.
Same applies to Ayodhya also.
Yes. For every abode of the Lord, it is like that. Especially when the Lord was present, it is non-different to the spiritual world. Both are the same only. But after Lord departs, that spiritual potency will be covered. Only the material vibhuti will be revealed. So in that way. Others say that Parastat means that Dhruvaloka remains beyond the lifespan of those lasting for Brahma's life, since the planet of the Lord is eternal. Dharma, Agni and others are the forms of constellations. Vanaukasa stands for Saptarushis, something like that. Some other additional details. Basically, the abode of Dhruva, which was actually the abode of Lord Vishnu, which is non-different from Vaikunta, because Lord came here to maintain the universe. He brought his own abode. He cannot stay here and there in a rented apartment. So that place has nothing to do with the material abodes. It is completely spiritual. So that is the understanding.
Both of them are living together, or where is the Lord residing now?
Here Prabhuji is asking where both of them are residing. Where Dhruva Maharaj is residing, where Shiva Vishnu is residing. Any answer? I don't know. आप जाके देख के आओ. Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? He is also staying in one corner. He is in Yoga Nidra. See. So 22nd verse. Prasthite tu vanam pitra datvagam dharma samshraya satrimshad varsha sahasram rakshitavya hatendriya.
After your father goes to the forest and awards you the rule of his kingdom, you will rule continuously the entire world for 36,000 years. And all your senses will continue to be as strong as they are now. You will never become old.
So now the desire with which Dhruva came, that was awarded. Then before that, Lord says that before that you have to rule the entire Bhumandala for 36,000 years. That's what is stating here. After your father gives you the earth and retires to the forest, you will rule the earth using dharma for 36,000 years, which is equal to 100 celestial years, with no decay of the senses. You will achieve Dhruvaloka after enjoying the kingdom on the earth. After giving the earth to you, your father will retire. So I will award you Dhruvaloka, but not immediately. I will award you after some time. Since you have been born in the family of a Kshatriya, as a person born in the Kshatriya family, you also have some duties to this world in which you are born. So you render those duties, then you come to the place which you are anticipating, then you render the duties in that place later on. So like that. So like that, Lord says that you are supposed to stay here for 100 celestial years and rule over the entire Bhumandala for that time. Not long. Because this pastime is happening during Satya Yuga, the people used to live for 1 lakh years. 30,000 years is like part of it, 1/3 of that. So Lord is saying that only that much, only small portion. No need to stay for long. That much you should do and then come to Dhruva Loka. So it is like that. So ruling over the earth, take care of the people all over the earth, something like that. So that's how Lord is indicating here Dhruva to rule over the entire Bhumandala. So we'll take a couple of minutes break, then we'll continue. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll continue. Devotees are there. Tvadbhartare uttame nashte mrugayayam tu tanmana अन्वेषन्ति वनं माता दावाग्निं सा pravekshati.
The Lord continued, sometimes in the future, your brother Uttama will go hunting in the forest, and while absorbed in hunting, he will be killed. Your stepmother Suruchi, being maddened upon the death of her son, will go to search him out in the forest, but she will be devoured by a forest fire.
Then few other additional details Lord Vishnu is speaking now. Your brother Uttama will die while hunting, and his mother attached to him, searching for him in the forest, will enter a forest fire. Please hear what will happen to Suruchi, your stepmother, who offended you, who is my devotee. So with that intention, Lord Vishnu is speaking what is going to happen to Uttama and Suruchi according to their destiny. So, one way we may see that okay, Lord is awarding punishment to Uttama and Suruchi. What Uttama made mistake? He is an innocent boy. Why he is supposed to die? So, from that point of view, may not be understanding it, but that may be his karma. His karma is that he is supposed to die in a forest. And in the case of Suruchi, we can see it is a reaction to the offense which he has done towards Dhruva. So in that way we can see. Even if it is not like Lord's punishment, we can see it as a karmic principle. Because since she was so much attached to her own son, so she criticized, she kind of spoke harshly with Dhruva. Eventually, because of her attachment towards her son, when her son went to a forest, she went to the same forest searching after her own son. And by the way, she caught into forest fire. So she gave up her body. So this is,
Because Uttama went to the forest and
yeah, Uttama went to the forest and news came that Uttama was killed by a Yaksha. So hearing that, she also went to the forest searching after her son. There is a forest fire. She was caught in that forest fire and left her body. So it could be that reaction to one's own past karmas. So like that we can see.
This is like a punishment. Lord is forecasting what he will be giving to those who offended Dhruva.
For us, we should learn that lesson. Like if somebody offends a devotee, they will get punishment like this.
Yeah, this also like some places it is said now, Prabhuji, that even if somebody is not devotee today and someone offends him, and later on after few years that person becomes devotee, still the person who offended him will get the means aparadha of offending a Vaishnava.
Yes, yes, that is true.
So this
That
is
will be revealed by Dhruva later on. Dhruva speaks in one of the verses later on. That time we will try to understand that when Dhruva speaks that how to deal with that. इष्ट्वा मां यज्ञ हृदयं यज्ञै पुष्कल दक्षिणै भुक्त्वा चेहासिना सत्या अन्ते मां संस्मरिष्यति.
The Lord continued, I am the heart of all sacrifices. You will be able to perform many great sacrifices and also give great charities. In this way, you will be able to enjoy the blessings of material happiness in this life, and at the time of your death, you will be able to remember me.
So here, so after telling what will happen, after awarding him that desired benedictions, after telling him to rule for some time, what will happen to his stepmother and his brother, stepbrother, and then Lord says, what will happen to Dhruva? After worshipping me, the art of sacrifice, by sacrifice and bountiful donations, while you are ruling the entire Bhumandala for 1000 celestial years or 36,000 human years, what you will do? You will worship me by performing so many yajnas, because that will be the prime duty of a king. King supposed to perform yajna for the well-being of the citizens. And by that yajna, you will worship me, and you will also worship me by offering bountiful donations to the deserved candidates. And also, you will enjoy the real blessings on earth. Bhuktva Satya Ashisha Iha. As a king, as the ruler of the entire Bhumandala, you will enjoy sufficiently while you are ruling. Then finally, at a right amount of time, you will renounce the kingdom, go to forest, and you will remember me at the point of death. So like that. Ante mam samsmarishyati. So not that you will enjoy and you will forget me, not like that. As a ruler, you will enjoy, and at the time of death, you will remember me and you will come to my abode. So like that, Lord is indicating what will happen to Dhruva in the future. So what happens to his stepmother Suruchi, what happens to his stepbrother Uttama, and what happens to him. And in the one of the previous he also mentioned what happens to his father also. After Dhruva goes home, Uttanapada will award the entire kingdom to Dhruva and he will go to forest. He will attain perfection. That also mentioned. So like that, everything is clearly indicated. So then, if you take the previous verse, Ante Mam Samsarishyati, Mam Samsmarishyasi, Mam Samsmara Eshasi. At the end of 36,000 years, you will remember me, by which you will give up this world and you will come to my abode. What is that my abode? Where you will come to me? That is described in the next verse. Tato gantasi mastanam sarvalokanam askrutam uparistadrushabhistvam yato navartate gata.
The personality of Godhead continued, My dear Dhruva, after your material life in this body, you will go to my planet, which is always offered obeisances by the residents of all other planetary systems. It is situated above the planets of 7 rishis, and having gone there, you will never have to come back again to this material world.
At the time of death, by remembering me, you will come to that place. Which place? That place is my own abode. Tato gantasi matsvanam. Then you will go to my own abode. Because you asked for a place which is superior to the abode of Brahma. There is only one place superior to the abode of Brahma is my own abode. So I'll give you that place. What is the specialty of that place? That place is worshipped by all abodes. Sarvaloka Namaskrutam. The abode of Lord Vishnu is worshipped by 14 planetary systems. Everyone who is living in all different places, everyone is worshipping that place because that is superior to everyone else. And where it is located? It is located just above Saptarushi Mandal. And what is the other specialty of this place? Having gone to that place, one will does not take birth again in any of the 14 planetary systems in this material world. Yato na vartate gata. Yato gata na avartate. Having gone there, one will not return to this 14 planetary systems. Abrahma Bona Loka Punaravarti Norjuna Mamupetitu Konteya Punarjanma Na Vidyate. That is a special quality of that place. From which you will not return. Indicates the place is eternal. So it is like that. That's how Lord awarded all the blessings. Lord indicated what will happen to everyone in the future. So then Lord stopped. Maitreya Uvacha Iti Archita Sa Bhagavan Ati Dishtyatmana Padam Balasya Pashyato Dama Swam Agad Garudadvija. Garudadvaja. Read the translation.
The great sage Maitreya said, after being worshipped and honored by the boy Dhruva Maharaj, and after offering him His abode, Lord Vishnu, on the back of Garuda, returned to his abode as Dhruva Maharaj looked down.
Yeah. After being worshipped by Dhruva, after offering benedictions, including his own abode, the Lord departed to his own abode, being seated on Garuda, while Dhruva was watching him. So like that, Lord returned. Then what happened to Dhruva? What did Dhruva do? Sopi sankalpajam Vishnu पादसेवोपसादितं प्राप्या संकल्प निर्वाणं नाति प्रीतो व्यगात्पुरम्.
Despite having achieved the desired result of his determination by worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, Dhruva Maharaj was not very pleased. Thus, he returned to his home.
Yeah. Though he had attained his desired goal, that Padam Tribhuvanotkrishtam, the place superior to that of Brahma's place, from worshipping the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, through his determination, Sankalpajam, he returned home. He returned to his father's home, but he was not satisfied. Na Atiprita. He was not completely satisfied. He was somewhat satisfied, but he was not completely satisfied. So with that incomplete satisfaction, he is returning to his father's home. Sankalpa Nirvana means conclusion of the vow. This refers to attaining Lord's abode greater than the abode of any of his forefathers. So it is like that. Any questions till now?
Prabhuji, like not question, but it is means I'm overwhelmed by seeing, in 6 months what Dhruva Maharaj could achieve. And Lord is so merciful, like he gave him so much out of his own mercy. So it is the exchange of, means we are witnessing the exchange of very supreme devotion and how Lord responds to it. That even after getting all this, still Dhruva Maharaj is not happy, and means not happy in the sense that he must be feeling that he has lost the Lord's darshan now, and whatever he has materially achieved, that is of not much importance. That is why he must be unhappy. But it's a really very purifying experience. All these prayers and what Lord is awarding to him. It is just astonishing. Within 6 months, how intensely, how determined way he must have performed his, austerities, so that he can achieve so much things. So at least means it is just my prayer that we can have at least some ounce of determination of Dhruva Maharaj, so that at least we can please the Lord by our sadhana, whatever we do.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your observation. Anyone else? Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Oji.
Hare Krishna.
I definitely agree with what Mataji said, but I'm still not sure where it is mentioned that Dhruva Maharaj got dissatisfaction. Is it because he lost darshan of the Lord, or is something else coming up?
No, wait, now let us discuss. No need to give conclusion right now. He will himself say why he is dissatisfied.
And Prabhuji, that famous verse never came in this picture only, where Dhruva says that what was I looking for? Like piece of glasses.
Yes, that is from other Purana. It is quoted by different acharyas, different contexts, but in one sense, that is what is going to say in the future verses. That will be kind of
Okay.
briefly summarized what is going to
Similar.
be in the future verses. But there also he said, though I approached you with material desire, but you become like a cow, and our cow takes care of the calf. Same way you give me the attraction to your lotus feet. So indirectly he also indicated there. So it is there.
Great. I just am wanting to see why was he dissatisfied. That's
Yeah,
it's
that we will see in the future once it comes. Now Vidura is asking one question. So Maitreya will speak. Maitreya will tell why, what are the thought process of Dhruva, why he is feeling dissatisfaction. That will be coming.
okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we hear Mahaprabhu, no? He
Ah.
used to hear this pastime, Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad pastimes again and again and again. Why?
Because these two personalities displayed complete surrender.
Okay.
Dhruva did everything as Narada Muni told. Prahlad also did everything as Narada Muni told. In one sense, they did not look here and there for the fulfillment of their desires. They have 100% depended upon the Supreme Lord, whether for the fulfillment of their desires, whether for their protection or for anything. That shows 100% complete surrender. That is the symptom of Ananya Bhakti.
No, that
Anna
was there
Anya.
even for Narad Muni also, isn't it? Even for Narad Muni it was there. He was also like that only, isn't it? In fact, Narad Muni's case was even worse. He was the son of a maid servant and he went searching for the Lord. But when we hear the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, it said he used to hear the pastimes of Prahlad and Dhruva Maharaj again and again. So,
yeah, for Narada Muni also we see that pastime, but Dhruva and this Prahlad comes out evidently. So their pastimes are being spoken by common people most of the times. Common people do not know about Narada Muni so much. That pastime only comes in the Bhagavatam, but Dhruva and Prahlad are very famous all over the world. Everyone knows.
okay.
So from that way also we can see.
Okay.
Vidura uvacha sudurlabham yat paramam padam harer maya vinasta charanachararjitam ladvapya siddhartamiva eka janmana katam swamatmanam ananyata tavet.
Vidura inquired, my dear Brahmana, the abode of the Lord is very difficult to attain. It can be attained only by pure devotional service, which alone pleases the most affectionate, merciful Lord. Dhruva Maharaj achieved this position even in one life, and he was very wise and conscientious. Why then was he not very pleased?
Yeah. Vidura is asking same question that we have read this verse previously also. Having attained the supreme abode of the Supreme Lord, who is so merciful, which is rarely attained for other people, through worshipping the Lord's feet within one's lifetime. For others, even if they worship Lord Vishnu for an entire lifetime, also they will be very difficult to get it. But Dhruva got it within 6 months. Even though others may be knowledgeable of what to attend, what not to attend, they may perform bhakti for with complete knowledge for one lifetime, they will not attend. But Dhruva, without understanding of Dhruvaloka, he got it within 6 months. But still, in spite of attaining that, why did he consider himself unfulfilled? Why he is not feeling satisfied? This is a question of astonishment from Vidura. Hearing that Dhruva was not pleased, Vidura asked why. So now Maitreya is going to answer why Dhruva was not feeling satisfied. So this answer will go for couple of verses. So very interesting understanding of Dhruva. Very what we can say, it is very practical for all of us to take lessons from it and implement in our day-to-day dealings also. Maitreya uvacha matu sapatnya vagbane hridi viddastu tan smaran naichan muktipater muktim tasmat tapam upeyivan.
Maitreya answered, Dhruva Maharaj's heart, which was pierced by the arrows of the harsh words of his stepmother, was greatly aggrieved, and thus when he fixed upon his goal of life, he did not forget her misbehavior. He did not demand actual liberation from this material world, but at the end of his devotional service, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared before him, He was simply ashamed of the material demands he had in his mind.
Yeah. The reason for Dhruva's dissatisfaction, one reason is given here externally, but there is another reason internally which is mentioned in the later on. So, Mukti Pradata Sarvesham Vishnu Revana Samshayam. This is the verse spoken by Lord Shiva in Padma Purana to Mother Parvati, something like that. So, among those who can offer Mukti, there is only one person without a doubt, that is Lord Vishnu himself. Same thing is mentioned here. Na Ichan Mukti Pater Muktim. I have taken shelter of that Lord who can offer Mukti, Muktipati. But I did not ask for Mukti. Na Ichan. I did not express the desire for liberation. I did not approach him for liberation. That made Dhruva feel dissatisfied.
A small child, I think. Yes, 5 years old.
It's okay, Prabhu. Now the reason for his dissatisfaction is this one. You should not dissatisfy or what?
How can a 5-year-old boy know?
He does not know. He only told previously also. What I know is all about the different places, all the way up to Brahma. Among them, I want best. That is clear. But this verse is not for him. This verse is for us. When we approach Vishnu, for what we approach? हाँ? बताइए, loudly बताइए. When we approach Vishnu, for what we approach him? So that time we should remember this. This verse is not for Dhruva. This verse is for us. Dhruva का हो गया already. He already went to abode of Lord Vishnu. But what about us? So Amarli. He did not desire liberation. Na icchat muktim. Awarded by the giver of liberation, Muktipate. Since while approaching the Supreme Lord, he remembered that his heart has been pierced by the harsh words of his stepmother. When Nardamuni told that, so you go home, don't take the words of your stepmother seriously, and then live life there, rule the kingdom, then take on to Vanaprasada, then come to forest, then worship Lord Vishnu, then you will get what you want. No issues. Don't have to do now, right now. But that time he said that since the words spoken by my stepmother are hit like the arrow, my heart is like the pot filled with water. Being hit by that arrow, the pot has got a hole. The water is leaking away. Your instructions are like the water in the pot, but they cannot stay in the heart, which is pierced by the arrow of the sharp words of my stepmother. So like that. From remembering his previous condition, Dhruva felt remorse. I was approaching Lord Vishnu, who can award liberation, but I was approaching him for a material benediction. That made Dhruva feel remorseful. So now, analyzing the prayers offered by Dhruva, one can say that, but in the prayers, Dhruva is never asking for a place superior to Brahma. He is asking for the association of devotees. He is asking for the taste, for the sweetness of Lord's lotus feet. That is as good liberation only. So why he should feel dissatisfied now? Like that one may ask. Now the Acharyas are analyzing this verse. What is happening in the heart of Dhruva? The wise say that liberation means becoming an associate of the Lord and serving him. The real meaning of liberation means becoming an associate of the Lord and serving him. Muktim bhaktimat parya datvam Vishnor anucharatvam hi moksham ahur manishina. The Manishi says that the intelligent people say that moksha means muktim bhaktimat paryadatvam Vishnor anucharatvam. Becoming an associate of Vishnu and serving Lord Vishnu with full bhakti is called mukti by the intelligent people. Again, this is a verse from Padma Purana. Most probably Lord Shiva is speaking to Mother Parvati. Thus, mukti or liberation on this verse does not meaning merging into the Lord. Na ichan mukti mukti pate. So people say that okay, Dhruva Maharaj did not ask for entering into Brahman, did not ask for Kaivalya Moksha. So that mukti indicated in this verse is not the mukti of Kaivalya. Instead, it is service to Lord Vishnu. In verse 9, Dhruva expressed his preference for serving the Lord over serving Brahman, over entering Brahman. Because in verse 9 he said that I don't want to enter into Brahman, I don't want to enter into Swarga. I don't want both of these. What do you want? I want association of your devotees. But then the statement, he did not desire liberation is not suitable. It is understood that he desired being an associate of the Lord from his statement in verse number 11. That is actually true. In verse number 11, he said that I just want to be in the association of your devotees and I also want to have attachment towards your lotus feet. So, in that way. Though the word Smaran indicates that he did not desire the Lord's association while remembering his impure state of experiencing the pain of the arrows of his stepmother's words. Previously, when Narada Muni was instructing Dhruva Maharaj what to do, what not to do, that time he did not remember Lord's lotus feet. That time he did not remember association of Vaishnavas. That time he was only remembering harsh words of. With that intention, he came to the forest and worshipped Lord Vishnu. So that's what he is thinking now. That's what, for that he is feeling remorse. Then with that thought process, he went to Madhuvana and performed austerities with a determination to worship the Lord, with the desire to obtain a place greater than that of his father or forefathers. That particular thought process makes him feel remorse. So it is like that. But on directly meeting the Lord, what is the question of remembering the harsh words of his stepmother? Since his senses had all been spiritualized. Now, what is the point of remembering all those things? Because after the darshan of the Lord, after the touch of the Lord, he has become spiritualized now. Now he is no more material person, spiritual person. Now past is past, past is gone. He was feeling insulted by the harsh words spoken by Suruchi because of the contaminated state. But now he is spiritualized. Now why does he feel remorse? He should feel happy. Like that one may question. Now the understanding is that, however, the Lord then said in verse number 19 that he would fulfill his material desire also. Lord said that, Dhruva, since you have come to me asking for a place superior to Brahmas, I'll give you that. So Lord said that. Lord fulfilled that desire. Though he does not want it now, but Lord gave that. Dhruva became ashamed and repented. My Lord knows my crime of possessing material desires, since he remembers my previous vow. I am so foolish. Why did I make such a vow? Though I did not indicate that in my prayers, but Lord remembered my original desire and he also fulfilled that desire. He also awarded blessings for that desire, for which he is feeling remorse and is feeling ashamed. When I said, I desired the association of the devotees in verse number 11, the Lord will think I am simply deceiving him. I originally came him to ask for a place superior to Brahma, but in my prayers I am saying that I don't want anything. I just want the association of devotees. What kind of deceived mentality is that? Thus, he did not clearly promise to fulfill that desire that I asked for association of devotees. I asked for taste for Lord's lotus feet. He did not say that clearly. He indicated it, but he did not say clearly. But instead, He promised to fulfill my previous desire. In talking about the future of my brother, he reminded me again of my previous envious nature. And while telling that how my brother will die, will be killed by Yaksha, and how my stepmother will enter into a forest fire and die, he also indicated that you came here to take revenge against your stepmother and your stepbrother. That will be fulfilled, like that Lord indicated. So remembering all these things, Dhruva feeling remorse and repentance and shy and ashamed, etc. Thus, the next six verses reveal the qualities of shame, repentance, humility, and disgust of Dhruva. Dhruva will speak 6 verses. In all those 6 verses, he will exhibit the qualities of shame, repentance, humility, and disgust. So, in that way. So, same thing we can see in the 6th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 12, where it is said that what learned person would desire the wealth of the king of heaven, by which I, master of the devatas, have become a demon. Adya asuram bhavam nita. This Chitraketu Maharaj who became Vritrasura might be speaking this verse. Who was king of the Vidyadharas. Now he has become Vritrasura. So which person will ask for the position superiority over heaven? It's like that. That kind of mentality. Now Dhruva is going to speak, expressing his regret, shame, what are the other things? Repentance, humility, and disgust in the next 6 verses. Dhruva uvacha samadhina naika bhavena yatpadam vidusanandadaya urdhvaretasa masairaham षड्विरमुष्य padayos chayamupetya pagata prutammati. Please.
Dhruva Maharaj thought to himself, to endeavor to be situated in the shade of the lotus feet of the Lord is not an ordinary task, because even the great brahmacharis headed by Sanananda, who practiced Ashtanga Yoga in camps, attained the center of the Lord's lotus feet only after many births. Within 6 months, I achieved the same result, yet, due to my thinking differently from the Lord, I fell down from my position.
Yeah. Now Dhruva is saying that he is analyzing why he is feeling dissatisfied. Himself is analyzing. Having attained in 6 months the shade of the lotus feet of the Lord, which Sanaka and others, by the strict brahmacharis, do not attain by concentration in one complete lifetime, I fell from that position because of having other desires. I have attained the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, but I did not attain attraction for the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. I did not attain shelter to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Instead, Lord told me to continue the king for 36,000 years and then go to Dhruvaloka and become the residence of Dhruvaloka. But it did not clearly mention that I will award you Krishna Prema. So like that. Dhruva feeling ashamed of that. Naika Bhavena means not in one lifetime. Remembering that he was situated in the shade of the Lord who was seated on Garuda, Dhruva speaks these verses. Having achieved that shade, I fell down because my mind was thinking of things other than the Lord. When I approached the Lord, while going to the forest, I was thinking about the place superior to Brahma, not about the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So that is feeling bad for that. Therefore, the Lord did not take me to his abode with me right now. He told me to stay here and rule over the earth for so and so years, then come to the Dhruva and rule over there. Like that he told. He did not give me Krishna Prema directly. Right now. That's why he's feeling ashamed. So like that. Then he continues. Ahobata mama Mamamanatmyam mandabhagyasya pashyata bhavachida padamulam gatva yacheyad anantavat.
Alas, just look at me. I am so unfortunate. I approach the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can immediately cut the chain of the repetition of birth and death. But still, out of my foolishness, I prayed for things which are perishable.
He says that, see the foolishness of this unfortunate person, having attained the lotus feet of the Lord, who destroys material existence. I prayed for what is perishable. Having taken shelter of Lord's lotus feet, still I prayed for the perishable, the place superior to that of Brahma, something like that. He is saying. Well, actually, in true sense, the abode of Lord Vishnu, which Dhruva prayed for, is actually eternal. But from his point of view, as a person subjected to humility, he is saying that I have asked for a place. I have asked for material name and fame. A place. I want to become the head of the place which is superior in the material world. I wanted some material name and fame. That shows my foolishness. Like that, Dhruva is indicating. Anatmam means that which is devoid of Atma, the state of ignorance. Though the devotee does not ask, the Lord destroys material existence for the devotee. I attained his lotus feet just by having received Vaishnava Diksha from Narada Muni. But I pray to attain what I have vowed, which is temporary. That is my fault. So Dhruva is feeling out of humility that he is very foolish. Even though I have worshipped Lord Vishnu, but I asked for a material position, material name and for fame. So I am so foolish like that. Dhruva is criticizing himself. The Lord, however, by his mercy gave me a place which is not temporary. Though I approached him for a place which is superior from the material point of view, but Lord gave me a spiritual place. That is Lord's mercy. See for my foolishness, whom I approached for what, but Lord out of causeless mercy awarded me, though I have not asked for it. Like that. Then he says that, though Narada Muni gave me good counsel, but I did not listen to Narada Muni because the Devatas spoiled my intelligence. The Devatas, who are supervisors of my mind and intelligence, they've actually corrupted my mind and intelligence. So like that he says. Matir vidushita devai padadbhir asahishnubi yo naradavachastatyam nagrahisam asattama.
Since all the demigods who are situated in the higher planetary systems will have to come down again, they are all envious of my being elevated to Vaikuntha Loka by devotional service. These intolerant demigods have dissipated my intelligence, and only for this reason could I not accept the genuine benediction of the instructions of Saint Narad.
Yeah, same thing is telling that. My intelligence was bewildered by the Devatas, who are the in charge of my intelligence. Huh?
Maybe the demigods with this or just
He is thinking like that. Out of humility, he is thinking like that. Yeah. My intelligence was bewildered by Devatas, who are in charge of my intelligence, who had fallen lower than what I would fall and were intolerant. He is thinking like that. It is not that Devatas are intolerant of him, but he is thinking like that. Though Narada Muni gave me good counsel, good instructions, but I did not accept because the Devatas maybe feeling envious towards me, feeling some insecurity, feelings like that. They did not allow me to accept and follow the instructions of Narada Muni. Instead, they bewildered my intelligence and made me to go against the instructions of Narada Muni. Like that is saying. Thus, being most corrupt, I did not accept the right advice of Narada. So it is like that. Dhruva imagines the cause of his ignorance. It is not real, but it just he is imagining. My intelligence was contaminated by the devatas who fall further than me and are therefore envious. Narada's words were, at this young age, do not consider the words of your stepmother very seriously. Instead, go home and play, and then eventually you live complete life, then take renunciation and come to forest and perform austerities. But Narada did not take it, Dhruva did not take it seriously because he says that my intelligence was bewildered by devatas. So like that. He's only giving a benefit of doubt. He's not actually accusing devatas completely. But because of devatas, I did not take the instruction of Narada Muni seriously. Perhaps like that he's thinking. Then he continues further. Daivim mayam upashritya prasupta iva binnadrik tapye dvitiye api asati bhatrutvya rudruja.
Dhruva Maharaj lamented, I was under the influence of the illusory energy. Being ignorant of the actual facts, I was sleeping on her lap. Under a vision of duality, I saw my brother as my enemy, and falsely I lamented within my heart, thinking they are my enemies.
So, in one sense, this verse answer that the discussion which we had, that anyone can become a devotee in the future. So we should be careful while dealing with them. If we offend them, if we criticize them and all, when they become devotees, we'll get the reactions like Suruchi got. So this verse gives an understanding of that how to deal with everyone. So here Dhruva is saying that taking shelter of Lord's Maya, seeing differences, pained in the heart by an enemy in the form of my brother, I suffer from illusory things, just like a person seeing a dream. Prasupta iva. So what is the meaning of this verse? Dhruva is saying that I was as if seeing a dream. Though it is false, one experiences pain by visions of tigers and snakes which come in the dream. So while sleeping, when we go through dream, if we get in contact with snake or tiger, we feel afraid. We run, we sweat, we fall, something like that. All those things we go through different emotions. I uselessly suffered from pain in the heart by an enemy in the form of a brother. So what had happened in the palace previously, it was all like a dream now. I simply took the dream as the real thing. My stepmother criticized me saying that unless until you take birth from my home, you cannot have right to sit on the lap of the king. Uttama has the right. I am also son of the king only. How can I not have right? How can Uttama have the right? I was feeling Uttama as an enemy who is enjoying, but I am not enjoying. So like that, Dhruva is analyzing. But what had happened is all like a dream now. For Dhruva now, since he is touched by Lord's Kanch, he gained spiritual knowledge. So now for him, what had happened all makes no sense. It's all illusion only. So now he's saying that I accept the illusion to be real. So like that he's saying. I uselessly suffered from pain in the heart by an enemy in the form of a brother. From the spiritual point of view, I and my brother are both jivas, conditions of the Tatastha Shakti of the Lord. The Lord has multiple energies and we both are jivas. We both are two different particles of Lord Tatastha Shakti. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. That understanding which I had not previously, but now I got it. From the material perspective, though we are both made of the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, and ether, Pancha Mahabhutas, conditions of the Lord's Maya Shakti, by the Lord's Maya, I became bewildered seeing him as an enemy. From the spiritual point of view, we both are sparks. From the material point of view, no, how can you be sparks? You are the personalities. But the both personalities are made up of earth, water, fire, ether only. So there is no reason for enmity. I am also made up of same earth, water, fire, ether. He is also made of same earth, water, fire, ether. What is the reason for enmity between both of us? And from the spiritual point of view, both of our spiritual sparks only. So what is the need of enmity between both of us? So like that, Dhruva is analyzing. Still, because of my immaturity, I treated Uttama as my enemy. So with that intention, I approached Lord Vishnu to get a kingdom which is superior to that of my great grandfather. I wanted to be in the superior position than that of Uttama. Now Uttama is able to sit on the lap of my father. Tomorrow you will sit on the throne of my father. But by the time Uttama sits on the throne of my father, I want to sit on the superior throne than that of my forefather. So like that, he want to take revenge against Dhruva. Sorry, against Uttama. So like that, Dhruva is saying that. But actually, in reality, from the material point of view, from the spiritual point of view, there is no need of enmity between both of us. It has no meaning. That's how his feeling is regret. So the same principle we can also apply. It is very difficult, but we can also apply in our daily dealings, by which you can avoid so many problems. Huh? It is not about ruling the kingdom, Prabhu. It is criticizing and seeing superiority or inferiority with one each other.
Yes, because he wanted a position higher than Uttama. No?
That's what he's saying now. That is all illusory. The position all illusory. Why they ask for it? It's okay. What's the problem if Uttama rules?
Yeah.
Like that you should have thought of.
All fights happen because of that.
That's what. That's what, because we all have illusory conceptions. We all think that this should be mine. I should be the enjoyer. That mentality of it should be mine and I should be enjoyer is illusory. That has no permanent existence. So in that way, I am a spirit soul, is also spirit soul. So one day we all have to go back to Godhead. So what is the use of having a kingdom here? Like that, no one thinks.
That is how we should be doing.
So like that. Then Dhruva further continues. Mayaitat prartitam vyartam chikisteva gatayushi prasadya jagadatmanam tapasa dusprasadanam bhavachidam ayacheham bhavan bhagya vivarjita.
It is very difficult to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but in my case, although I have satisfied the Super Soul of the whole universe, I have prayed only for useless things. My activities were exactly like treatment given to a person who is already dead. Just see how unfortunate I am, for in spite of meeting the Supreme Lord, who can cut one's link with birth and death, I have prayed for the same conditions.
On the other hand, even though I worshipped Lord Vishnu, I had a darshan, but I worshipped him for a useless things, which are like medicine given to a dead person. After a person is dead, what is the use of giving medicine? So Dhruva approached Lord Vishnu for a position superior to that of Brahma. Okay. But after touched by the Lord, he became spiritual. Now he has nothing to do with the material position. But Lord gave the material position. So it is like giving a medicine to a dead body. What dead body will do? Now he has become completely spiritual. It is not interested in material position and material name and fame. But still Lord gave it. So what he will do with that? So like that. Having pleased the Lord, who is the soul of the universe, difficult to please him by austerities, and who can destroy material existence, I prayed for material enjoyment, since I was devoid of good fortune. So I prayed for a position which is superior in the material world, but that place will avoid one repeated cycle of birth and death. I have surrendered to that Lord who can award liberation, but I asked him for a material position which can award repeated cycle of birth and death. See my foolishness. Like that, Dhruva is criticizing himself. Finally, Dhruva says, Swarajyam yachato maudyan mano me bhikshito bata Ishvarat kshina punyena falikaran ivadana.
Because of my state of complete foolishness and paucity of pious activities, although the Lord offered me his personal service, I wanted material name, fame, and prosperity. My case is just like that of a poor man who, when he satisfied the great emperor who wanted to give him anything he might ask, out of ignorance asked only for a few broken grains of husk rice.
Here he says that, alas, from the Lord who was willing to offer his own service to his own lotus feet. Out of pride, I asked for material things. It is just like a poor man who, out of foolishness and lack of piety, asked the emperor for a few small grains of rice. When the king is ready to give anything you want, if somebody asks only, I want rice grains which can fill in my palm. So like that, Dhruva is comparing himself. Swarajyam means he who is glorious in himself with bhakti, or he who possesses his own king, he who is a servant. A servant who has the king as his own master, has everything at his disposal. The king is his own master, king can give you anything the servant want. Similarly, a devotee who possesses bhakti has a supreme lord for him. The supreme lord can award anything the devotee want. But in spite of that, I have asked for broken piece of glasses. So like that, say. It is just like a poor man having lost his intelligence begging some grains of rice from the emperor. However, being clever and very generous, the king gives more wealth than one can imagine to that person. Like a poor man, I asked for a palmful of grains, but the Lord who is like the emperor is not conjuice. He gives more than what I ask. Like that, Lord gave me more than what I have asked. Similarly, the Lord gave me his own abode to live in. I asked for a abode which is superior to that of Brahma, but Lord gave me his own abode. Oh, I am the height of the foolishness. What unlimited mercy and generosity of the Lord is. Dhruva then became completely paralyzed in astonishment for a moment. See, I approached the Lord who is like the monarch, but I asked for a palmful of grains. But see the Lord's magnanimity. He had given his own abode. He could have given only the palmful of grains. That is what I asked. I would have been happy for that also. But Lord gave me his own abode. There is nothing more than that. The Lord has nothing more than that to give. He has given his own abode. See the Lord's generosity. So thinking like that, he became stunned. He became paralyzed for some time. So that's how Acharyas express the condition of Dhruva Maharaj and the disposition, mental thought process of the Dhruva Maharaj in these verses. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here with this verse. And then what happens with that regret when he comes home, when he comes to that abode, that Brahmavarta or Barishmati, to the capital of Manu, what happened next? That will be discussed in the next verses that we will discuss next week. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Prabhuji, did I disturb you in between?